Maybe you guys are doing some holiday shopping this weekend. What's the number? Not a lot of days left before Christmas. What is it, the 6th? Okay. The countdown begins. A lot of stores are staying open for 100 hours straight just to get your business. But Julie Reiser is joining us now. You are the president of Made in USA Certified, joining us from Denver. And you say everybody should buy items that are made in America. Welcome to the show. Why is that, Julie?
Oh, thank you, Lauren. Great to be here. Well, you know, every year in and around December, I write a blog on my Mrs. Made in USA Says blog about Made in America Month being proclaimed in 1985 by Ronald Reagan as the Made in America Month. And I find it so fascinating that our 40th president of the United States, who was president from 1981 to 1989, proclaimed the busiest retail month of the entire year as Made in America Month. And nobody's really talked about it until recently. And I think that now is the time that we really need to take control of our economy, as we've seen with our government is completely out of control with the government shutdown. The consumers have the power to turn this economy around, and this is a great month to do it.
You know, you were talking about Ronald Reagan and when he did make December Made in America Month back in 1985. If you recall what was happening in the 80s in terms of our auto market, our electronics market, we were flooding the U.S. with foreign products. So that was a great way to rev up economic growth. And I think a lot of people would argue that the economy needs that injection today as well. But there's also a cost issue here. Oftentimes, not all the time, especially with China and their workers getting higher wages. But for consumers, it's still, you get a cheaper price when that company does manufacture overseas.
Well, you know, that is true, and I think you bring up a good point. Back in the 70s, our automobile market was just getting pounded by cheaper imports. You know, they had a great from Japan that had a better design. They were more fuel efficient. And Ronald Reagan actually felt that the government needed to intervene at that point and protect our big three automakers at that time. But what I really think is interesting is that the government, as we all know, cannot do it all. It's really the consumers that have to drive this movement, this Made in America and Made in USA movement, and consumers need to purchase these goods. Now, back at that time, the U.S. automobile market had taken a hit because our quality had gone down, our styling wasn't as modern. Consumers really were not wanting American cars at that time. But now everything has changed around. I think Made in America products now really stand for quality and innovation and design. Consumers now, according to a recent study that just came out from Perception Research Services, it was just last week, said that American consumers are willing to pay 60% more for Made in America goods because they do believe that it's safer, it's better quality. Plus, millennials now, consumer research is showing, are much more motivated to make consumer products that have a feel-good feeling, where they feel like they're giving back. And buying American supports U.S. jobs.
Right. And with the average American spending, let's say, upwards of $700 on holiday gifts this year, the National Retail Federation's projection for November and December holiday sales to be $602 billion, bigger than last year, not the best number ever. The projections are so for the holiday season. Consumers clearly want at least 40% off, right? 40% off is the new 25% off. It's interesting that we're looking for deals like that, yet other surveys say if something is made in America, if we can connect to it, if we see where it's from, we would pay up to 60% more for it. It seems a little conflicting to me.
Yeah. It's true. It is conflicting. And I think Walmart, with their $50 billion Made in America initiative,
forgot about
they're trying to, they're trying to balance that out. They want to offer, you know, low prices to consumers, but also the Made in America. And they believe that they can do that in working with their manufacturers and their suppliers to achieve that. So I think we do need to find a healthy balance between price, like exactly what you said, and, you know, wanting to buy American, which is clearly the consumer's choice. So I think this holiday season, I mean, if you can't give a better gift to a loved one or a friend than a Made in America gift, because it really says, you know, that you thought about it, that you cared about it, that, you know, you actually went out and searched it out, you care about U.S. jobs, And it's a great gift to give. So, you know, if consumers purchase half of the $738 that the Retail Federation is saying that American consumers in general spend during the holidays, we could create up to 1 million new American jobs. And that's pretty powerful.
That is very powerful, and I think the responsibility is, yes, with the consumer, but more so it's with the company, the Walmarts out there, to make supply chain arrangements where they can produce more made in the U.S. jobs, products, and get them to prices where they're a lot more appealing for American consumers, and in fact, consumers all over the world. Julie Reiser, thank you so much. I read your blog. I have to say it was a great read. It really was.
Thank you, Lauren.
Your effort. Happy holidays early to you, and have a great weekend.
Happy holidays to you and everyone watching.